major news in terms of the banking sector, like Samantha said, Stanbic IBTC coming out saying they're proposing to transition into a holding company. Now, of course, this is in line with the CBN directive that said that banks operating under universal banking guidelines should reorganize their businesses into commercial banking, merchant banking, and or specialized banking. Now, Stanbic IBTC made some major changes. We've heard that other banks made some major changes. Shed some light on this for us, Jude, because we'd like to know what are the broader implications of this directive on the sector, and of course, how we're seeing things changing when it comes to banking business in Nigeria.
Absolutely. I think this is in keeping with Stanbic IBTC's banking strategy. If you look at your model, you find that they're very heavy in asset management services and pension funds management services and trusteeships, and they're also a nominee. The implication of their practicing a commercial banking licenses or using a commercial banking model will mean that they will drop most of those services that they render, and I think they want to give an integrated services to their customers. So I think is aligned largely with their corporate strategy as a bank. Now, what that simply means is that it will no longer operate as a commercial bank here. There will be a holding company who will now own all the subsidiaries, the bank being one of them, clearly. So I think, well, it bodes well for banking in Nigeria because there are about 4 banks that have now signified the interest to have a holding company a structure in Nigeria. One is UBA, the other is FCMB, the other one is First Bank, and now Stanbic IBTC. Some other banks have also said they will do international banking like Diamond Bank, Access Bank, GT Bank, Zenith Bank. There are also some national banks like Unity Bank and some regional banks like Wema Bank. But I think this speaks well. So at every strata, you have banks that are willing to offer services in that area. So I think it's a good development for the banking and financial services sector.
Well, Jude, you have a lot of experience when it comes to the retail banking space. Can you give us a better picture of how you see this impacting retail banking here in Nigeria?
Well, I think largely when it comes to retail banking, the main focus of the bank, that is the commercial bank aspect of that holding company, will still impact on retail banking because Stanbic IBTC have been very bullish in the retail sector. Their branch expansion has been very, very aggressive in the recent past, and they intend to expand more. So I think that is part of the overall strategy to go both into retail and also have the asset management side intact. So I think it's a good move by Stanbic IBTC, and some of the businesses they have on the asset management side would dovetail into retail businesses. I think that's their strategy, and it links up well too.
Well, Jude, let's shift our attention sort of still on the banking sector. Of course, we're expecting Q2 results. I just gave Samantha the numbers there when it comes to the UBA half-year results that were quite good, actually. We saw turnover up. As we look out for Q2 results, what are the main things we should be looking at in terms of their bottom lines, in terms of their balance sheets, of course, and income statements?
No, absolutely. The result of the UBA has just announced is quite impressive, but it's expected. I think in the past 1, 2, 3 years, UBA has tried to clean up their books. So but the books are very clean now, and I believe that what income they are announcing now is quality income that largely will not be written off later in the future. So I think UBA has turned around, and many other Nigerian banks have done the same. So expect superior results from the rest of the bank, GT Bank, Zenith Bank, UBA, First Bank, Diamond Bank, and FCMB and Access Bank too. So I think it's a good showing by the banks, and I think it will continue to the rest of the year.
Well, Jude, in terms of what we should be looking at, many analysts say cost management is very important, especially when it comes to these Q2 results. This is something a lot of analysts will be looking out for. What will we see in terms of cost management? What's your take on this?
Of course, you're right. You know, on the corporate side, revenues are shrinking, margins are shrinking. So one of the best approaches is also to begin to reduce your cost, the cost of delivering services to your customers. So that's why a lot of banks are deploying technology today to give banking services to customers at a cost-effective rate. So I think that's largely what UBA has done. I mean, other banks like Diamond Bank and GT Bank and Zenith Bank are also looking very hard at working down their costs. So you just watch the cost-income ratio for most of the banks is dropping below 55%, and most of them go below 50%. So I think the banks are doing a good job of watching their costs.
And I remember early this year, loan growth was a major factor. It was a key factor that we all looked out for when we're looking at the bank's Q1 results. But we're still seeing banks still cautious when it comes to loaning to the private sector, especially in the oil services sector. Are you seeing any pressure from this whole subsidy debacle when it comes to loan growth?
Absolutely. You know, banks for the past few months have been very cautious about lending to the private sector, especially to oil and gas sector, especially downstream oil and gas sector, because of the subsidy issue that came up early in the year. And because government has not been very clear as to what it wants to do in that area, so banks are cautious. Now the finance minister will say, we are going to hold on to payments for subsidy. In another breath, they say, okay, they're going to pay. So banks are not sure what is happening there, so they're holding back. That is one. Two, you also find that yields on treasury bills have been quite high. So banks, a lot of banks are moving their deposits into treasury bills where you have returns as high as 15%. Most corporates are willing to borrow from banks at 13, 14, 15%. So why would you see a risk-free investment and at 15%, and you're going to lend to a corporate with risks at 13%. So that's what is happening there. So a lot of banks are very cautious. Now, also the nationalized banks that AMCON is managing are also very cautious because they are trying to manage their books to appear beautiful for the investors that we expect to come in later in the year or sometime next year. So the banks have been quite bearish when it comes to lending recently.
Okay. Well, we'll certainly be keeping a close eye on those results. Thank you so much for joining us. That was Jude Anele, Head of Retail Banking with Diamond Bank.